Good morning, my friends. It's June 17th, 2024, and this is a daily brief. 1,080 Russians off the battlefield, but if you look at the other statistics, it seems like it was kind of a slow day for what was going on the front lines. And that seems to be borne out by the statistics here from Andrew Perpetua, looking at the Ukrainian and Russian losses. Almost 1 to 1, not quite, a little bit more Russian than Ukrainian, but still it's fairly close, which is unusual. It's usually a multiple like 2, 3, sometimes 4 to 1. Andrew Perpetua posted this on Twitter. I'm curious what the total count is on how much video I've watched of this war. Like, it's got to be close to 3 hours per day of just raw footage, never mind having to watch each video multiple times to geolocate it, etc. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I can't imagine how much time that guy spends with the amount of time that I know how much I spend. So, okay. 53,000 people are without electricity due to Russian strikes in the Poltava region. Local authorities reported at least 9 have been injured. Several residential buildings have been damaged. So they're striking energy facilities still. Where is Poltava, by the way? We don't talk about it a lot. Here's Kharkiv, here's Kiev, Dnipro. Poltava is in the center, and it's because it's further back from the front lines. It doesn't get a lot of publicity, but that's where it is. Okay, overnight, Ukrainian drones attacked military targets in the Belgorod, Voronezh, and Lipetsk regions of Russia. And a little bit more about that. One of the targets was the Lipetsk steel plant and a local tractor factory, both of which are utilized by Russia for military purposes. Okay, here's the actual article in the Kyiv Independent, and yep, they were attacked. Kamikaze drones attacked the metallurgical plant and other facilities used for military purposes. Russian governors reported that drone attacks on 3 regions, claiming there were no damages or casualties. It's like they have a script that they have to come out and say that nothing was damaged, nobody was hurt. The Lipetsk Oblast governor claimed that the pre-fell after 2 drones were intercepted over the Lipetsk area. But when you look on Twitter and you see something like this is Jay in Kiev. Night became day, and then darkness. Then became darkest night in the Russian city of Lipetsk after Ukrainian drones paid a visit to the electrical infrastructure. And you see this, and this is not daytime, and I can prove it because this is a video, and I'm not showing the video, but if I just click over here, that's what it looked like before. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looked like after, and that is something that wasn't part of the night. Okay. Let's move along. Russia tries to advance before Ukraine's F-16s arrive. Now, when are the F-16s arriving? It's supposed to be May. It's supposed to be June. And it keeps being like delayed. It'll probably be there sometime in the fall. Maybe September is what I would guess. October, I would say certainly by October, but maybe by September. Kyiv's commander-in-chief said Russia is now working hard to erode Ukraine's forces the best it can before F-16s arrive and strengthen Ukrainian skies. F-16s will not be a silver bullet, but they will be useful in bringing some kind of balance to the Russian air superiority that does exist at the present. Okay, meanwhile, France plans to train 26 Ukrainian pilots to fly F-16 fighter jets in 2 years. In 2 years. I mean, over 2 years, it'll be there. Now, F-16 training takes a while. Listen to this. Some of them may complete the training as early as September. It's noted that the French military decided to shorten the training period for the pilots from 1.5 years to 6 months. So, look, I'm a professor, right? I understand that you have to have a certain amount of time in order for things to process. And if it takes them a year and a half, generally speaking, 6 months seems like a not so great idea. But I get it. You got to get them out to the battlefield. But wow. Okay. Ukraine's Navy spokesperson says Russia's surface warships cannot afford to be in the waters of the Black Sea under a new commander that only deploys submarines starting a few months ago. That's something. Like, the Russian Navy was largely chased out of the Black Sea, and They only will deploy submarines moving forward, is what they're saying is likely to happen. Here's the actual story in the Kyiv Post. Russia now deploys only submarines. He said President Russia only has one missile carrier in the Black Sea, capable of launching a total salvo of 4 caliber missiles. So that's significant. On June 11th, the Kyiv Post reported that Russia redeployed its surface vessels from the Black Sea to the landlocked Sea of Azov for exercises. Let's put them over there and do some exercises. Okay. Kremlin reluctance to deploy surface warships in the Black Sea could likely be attributed to Ukraine's recent history of destroying nearly a third of the Russian Black Sea fleet. Well, that could have some effect. Okay. Meanwhile, while all these other things are going on, some Ukrainians are still trying to evade conscription, and this is really the key, the turning point here, or the fulcrum for the war, in my estimation, is how Ukrainian conscription goes. The mobilization squads have a fearsome reputation, especially in Odessa, for pulling people off buses and train stations and ferrying them straight to the enlistment centers. For those avoiding the draft, public transport is now off limits, so too are restaurants, supermarkets, and weekend trips to the park to play football. Some people run away from us. This happens quite often, said one of the conscription officers. Others react quite aggressively. I don't think these people have been brought up well. He was able to mask his contempt for those who are hiding. How can I say this without swearing? He asked aloud. Now remember, the conscription officers have to have been previously serving veterans. Okay, so that's part of and so they're bringing people in who need to be serving to defend their country. I don't consider them men. What are they waiting for? If we run out of men, the enemy will come to their homes. And now I'm just going to highlight this or make this larger, and you can read this. And because YouTube censors, right? Yeah, I mean, this is legitimate kind of stuff, what the Russians have done to Ukrainian men, women, and children. The latest conscription drive has opened up uncomfortable divisions in society, not only between those serving and those avoiding the draft, but also between female friends, some of whom have partners on the front line, and others of whom are hiding their boyfriends at home. That's got to be some uncomfortable times to be having girl talk. Okay, there's been an explosion of ammunition in the Czech training area, the armed forces of Czechia. There are people wounded. Causes of the incident so far are unclear. Now, the same post, you see Jay in Kyiv, that was Anton Gerashenko. You see Jay in Kyiv say there's a 99% chance that Russians have just blown up another ammo depot in the Czech Republic. Now, I'm going to side with Gerashenko here for now, because that's what you want to do, is you want to say, yeah, we don't know what it is, and we're not going to jump to conclusions. But I don't know that Jay's jumping that far. It does seem like it's probable. This is the translation from the Czech Post. We are dealing with a serious accident in the military training area where unspecified ammunition exploded. Unfortunately, there are injuries at the scene. We are trying to provide help as quickly as possible. The rescue helicopter intervenes. The incident is being handled by the military police. Now, what just happened? The first batch of Czech artillery has just arrived in Ukraine within the last few days, and then this happens. Okay, Ukraine displayed a destroyed stadium stand in Munich in reminder of war ahead of the Euro 2024 opener. So I just want you to get the visual. These are seats from one of their stadiums that is just on display. They didn't destroy anything at the stadium. They just brought this in and set this up to remind people this is what happened to one of our football stadiums because of what the Russians are doing. It's a powerful image to see. Okay. Second to last thing I want to show you is this. Baby stroller contest was held in the Russian city of Magadan. One of the favorite of the contest was a family of Z patriots who decided to make a tank out of a baby stroller and to cover their little child's head with a bloody bandage, thus imitating a wounded occupier. Wonder why the mother's head was not bandaged. At least it's relevant to her. This is Mother of the Year here with her tank and wounded baby looking thing. Well, what on earth? Okay, this is the last thing. Every 10 minutes, Russia commits a war crime against Ukraine. Ukrainian Prosecutor General Andrei Kostin. As of today, we have documented almost 130,000 war crimes. That means 150 times a day on average. We are now exactly at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. So, in the time that you were watching this, another war crime took place on average in Ukraine. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.